Hey, good evening, everyone. This is the council meeting of August 17, 2021. Notice of this meeting stating the date, place, and time has been disseminated as required under the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, PL 1975. In addition to the publishing of the annual meeting schedule, electronic notice was provided on August 13, 2021 to the local source of Star Ledger, noting that the meeting would be conducted through the Ring Central program and containing information on how to access the meeting. The same information was posted on the city's website, Linden TV, the bulletin board, and the front door of City Hall. Copies of the agenda, finance report, and personnel reports are also posted on the city's website and Linden TV for the public. This meeting is now called to order. Mr. Clerk, can you please conduct the prayer and flag salute?
God of the universe, look thou with favor upon these here assembled, and bestow thy guidance upon the members of the governing body in their deliberations. This we ask in thy name. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation,
under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
justice for all.
justice for all.
Members of the public who may be attending are on mute until the public hearing on ordinances or the public comment portion of the meeting. If you wish to be recognized, please use the raised hand icon in the program to identify yourself. You will then give your name and address as at any council meeting. Failure to do so will result in your being muted and not recognized further. If you are registered more than once, you will only be recognized to speak one time under your first registration, as with any council meeting. When public comment is opened, the ability to register will be closed. Okay, can we have a roll call, please?
Mrs. Ormond,
Excused,
Javik,
Present.
Caldwell,
excused,
Mohammed, Mr. Mohammed. Ms. Cosby,
Here.
Roman,
Present.
Strano,
Here.
Blaine,
Here.
Medina,
excused,
Hickey,
Present.
Mrs. Yamakaitis.
here.
I'm going to try Mr. Mohammed. Mr. Mohammed, are you present? Okay.
It seems like it's froze his video. Okay. All right, can we have a motion to approve the minutes of the July 15, 2021?
I'm sorry, Council President. Mr. Clerk, how many do you have present in the roll call?
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Motion to approve the minutes
Thank
of
you.
the regular meeting of July 15, 2021.
Second.
Can we have a second, please?
Second.
Mr. Javik.
Yes.
Mr. Mohammed. Ms. Cosby.
Abstained.
Mr. Bowman.
Yes.
Strano.
Yes.
Blaine.
Yes.
Hickey.
Yes.
Mrs. Yamakaitis.
Yes. Okay, this is the meeting that we'll have to conduct the 2021 budget hearing. I'd like to call on Mrs. Alexis Zach to do a presentation. Okay, Mrs. Zach?
Thank you.
Okay.
Mr. Crane will now present the 2021 pre-recorded budget, and I'll answer questions after the recording.
Okay, thank you.
Hello, everyone, and I would like to take this opportunity to thank the Mayor and Council for allowing me as the CFO to present the 2021 municipal budget. The City of Linden municipal budget for the year 2021 is $114,223,059.88. The budget is comprised of various operating expenses. Salary and wages, which equate to, in this year's budget, $49,114,566.43, and the other category is our other expenses, which total $65,108,493.45, for a grand total of $114,223,059.88. As everyone knows, government is labor intensive. We have over 537 full-time employees, 99 part-time employees, broken down by 38 regular part-time, and 61 school guards. This slide shows you how our municipal budget is spent. Of the $114,223,059.88, our number one priority is our public safety departments, which consists of our police, fire, dispatch, and OEM, for a total of $34,385,830.43, or roughly 30.10% of our total appropriations. We have a fully paid fire and police department. The second category in this chart shows our second highest category of insurances, which consists of our health insurances, general liability insurances, worker comp insurances, for a total of $17,102,600, or roughly 14.97% of our total budget. The third largest category is our community services department, comprised of public works, engineering, buildings and grounds, municipal garage, transportation and parking, and also our newly created parks and recreation department, for a total of $15,350,085.25, or roughly 13.44% of our total budget. The fourth largest category is our statutory expenses, which comprises of our pensions, Social Security, and unemployment insurances, for a total of $13,558,024.25, or roughly 11.87% of the total budget. The fifth category is our general government category, which various smaller departments fall under, such as our city clerk's office, the finance department, the tax collector, the treasurer, the mayor's office. All total general government totals $13,201,455.94, or roughly 11.56% of our total budget. The sixth category is our debt service. In the City of Linden, we try to maintain a level debt service each year. As debt service drops off, we do general obligation bonds. We recently just had a bond sale where we were able to receive a very low interest rate on our outstanding debt, and Standard & Poor's just rated us a stable outlook for our bond rating. Our debt service for 2021's budget is $11,677,000, or 10.22% of our total budget. The seventh category is our reserve for uncollected taxes. No municipality collects 100% of their taxes. We have to take into account a reserve for uncollected taxes. Even though we have an extremely high tax collection rate, our tax collector, Stacy Karen, does an outstanding job and received over 98% of taxes collected, which was actually increased in 2020. Our reserve for uncollected taxes for 2021 is budgeted at $4,150,000, or roughly 3.63% of our total budget. Our eighth category is our utilities, which is for all our 23 facilities in City Hall, totaling $2,546,500, or roughly 2.23% of our total budget. And the last category is our library. We have an independent library that is budgeted at the state minimum that the state requires each municipality to budget not below a certain formula. For the library this year, it's $2,251,564.01, or roughly 1.97% of the total budget. This chart we show every year because it's important as to you to understand where your tax dollars go. The blue is represented for the municipal portion, which is what our mayor and council have control over. Our municipal portion, I'm proud to announce that the mayor and council in this administration for the fourth year in a row has had stabilized taxes with no municipal increase in their taxes. The municipal tax increase, the municipal tax rate for 2021 is $60,337,703.12, or roughly 31.90% of your total tax bill. The library is at a state mandated number, which represents 1.19% of your bill, or roughly $2,251,564.01 of the total taxes paid. The County of Union, this is an estimated number as we don't have their finalized number, is $31,386,273.32, which is responsible by the Board of Chosen Freeholders for their budget, as well as the open space allotment of $970,410.08, or roughly 0.51%. Once again, the County of Union is responsible for the County of Union portion of your tax bill. And the last category, which is one of the largest categories, is our school at $94,215,916, or roughly 49.81%. And the members that are responsible for the school portion are your Lyndon Board of Education members. Once again, the mayor and council are proud to announce that there will be no municipal tax increase for the 4th year in a row. And also, they are proud to announce that they have eliminated the garbage surcharge since 2018, saving the taxpayers additional funding. We have this year, our average assessed home is valued at $132,174, and a tax point in 2021 is equivalent to $273,452. Mayor and council's #1 priority is servicing the residents of Linden. We have various departments that do a multitude of services for our residents, from trees, sewers, waterways, garbage collection, trash collection, street sweeping, recycling, and park landscaping. Our Public Works Department does more than probably any department, I would say, in the state of New Jersey when it comes to public works. We have a fully paid Public Works Department, and they are responsible for maintaining many of the critical city services for the city of Linden. And we were able to not touch any city services, and the mayor and council were still able to bring this budget in during a worldwide pandemic at a 0 tax increase. The Department of Parks and Recreation, we have over 37 parks in the city of Linden. We have several recreation centers and various playgrounds and day camps that the city of Linden's residents are able to participate at. And Director Dunham has done a phenomenal job in bringing creative programs to the city of Linden. Some of the programs that Director Dunham has continued and also has added are various youth-sponsored activities, our special camps and clinics, various adult-sponsored programs, as well as many senior citizen programs that City of Linden is known for its outstanding senior citizen programs. We appreciate all the efforts that the director has provided to us. The mayor and council, along with partnerships with Uptown Linden and SID, are able to provide a multitude of projects and outings for our residents. We just the other day had experienced a National Night Out. We have various activities coming up for Backpack to School. We have various festivals for Polish, Latin, African American festivals, and we also have various activities planned, as well as our Veterans Day celebration we hope to have in November for our hometown heroes. In addition to the City of Linden, the Municipal Library puts on various children and adult programming, and under Director Dennis Purvis, they do an outstanding job for our citizens of Linden. The second component of our budget is our capital improvement plan. We have a capital budget for 2021 that focuses mainly on public safety and addressing our various infrastructure and equipment needs. Under public safety, we have our police department, and within the last 2 years, the IT division is under the police department. So we are budgeting for upgrades in technology, both public and non-public safety, as well as doing whatever the police department equipment needs are for updating their services, as well as in the fire department, updating the equipment that they need, along with our Office of Emergency Management. They were in need of some pickup trucks in regards to their fleet. As far as non-public safety capital projects, our aging infrastructure must be addressed, and engineering, Mr. Kroback does a phenomenal job in engineering in regards to our street resurfacing programs, curb and sidewalk reconstruction, storm and sanitary sewer improvements. We have to address our City Hall parking garage, which has been aging, And we also will be receiving a grant for Park Plastics environmental remediation that is needed. Our engineering department is an extremely busy department and has been able to address much of our infrastructure in the city of Linden. Some additional non-public safety departments that we address in our capital budget is our public works, public property, municipal garage, and buildings and grounds. There are certain items that needed to be addressed, such as equipment needs for a new sewer truck, a various sanitation truck, and community services totals $1,516,900. In addition to our Department of Parks and Recreation, we have various grants that we've been fortunate to get through the County of Union for our Kids Trust program. We have a dollar match to that. We also have to address some of our park improvements. So for the total for 2021's capital budget, recreation is $407,700. And we are able to, the mayor and council, because of their economic development team headed by our LEDC director, Alex Laspinoso, are able to have reoccurring revenues brought into the city of Linden and are able to have our stabilized tax base due to the various revenues coming in. Even though Linden suffered municipal revenue loss in 2020 due to the worldwide pandemic, we were fortunate enough to get additional funding through the American Rescue Plan that we were able to introduce in our budget on sheet 10 of our budget for an additional revenue that the state of New Jersey provided late guidance to, therefore why our budget is a little delayed on getting adopted. But we were able to do this because of the various redevelopment projects that we have. Linden is on a renaissance of redevelopment. We have well over 15 active redevelopment projects, probably closer to 20. I ran out of room on my slide, so I just added the top list of redevelopment projects that we have. But we're looking at a various total investment of all our various projects of over $1.1 billion, that's billions of investment in the city of Linden. We're looking at residential units of over 1,600 residential units, and we're looking at retail, commercial, and hotel of square footage of well over 5.2 million. If anyone wants additional information in regards to redevelopment projects, Alex Laspinoso, our director of LEDC, as well as the mayor's chief of staff, would be instrumental in being in contact, and he would be glad to answer any of your additional questions you may have. The mayor and council are very pleased with this budget and are happy to announce that once again the residents of Linden will have no municipal tax increase for the year 2021. I would like to thank everyone for their time and attention during this presentation, and I'd be glad to take any questions that you have. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Zach. The 2021 municipal budget was placed on the city's website after its introduction last month and was available for review at the Linden Public Library. At this time, I'd like to call on Councilman Barry Javik, a member of the Finance Committee.
Yes, Council President, the introduced budget represents a total of $114,223,059.88 in expenditures for the year 2021. I am pleased to announce this budget represents another year of no municipal tax increase based on an average assessed home of $132,174. The City of Linden is committed to providing our residents with a variety of city services and quality of life improvements. Mayor Armstead's administration recognizes taxpayers need tax relief, and in addition to eliminating the garbage surcharge in 2018, the City Council has worked very hard to deliver a slight decrease on the municipal portion of your tax bill for the fourth year in a row. I would like to thank all members of the governing body for their assistance and recommendations on the 2021 budget. I would like to especially thank every department head for their dedication and diligence in preparing their 2021 municipal budgets. I move for approval and ask for a second.
I'll second that.
Have the public hearing first.
Hold on 1 minute, we're gonna have a public hearing.
Motion.
Do I have a motion to open the public hearing, please?
Council President, I'd like to make a motion to open the public hearing and request.
Second.
Okay, roll call. Second was Councilman Mohammed.
Mr. Javik,
Yes.
Mohammed,
Yes.
Cosby. Ms. Cosby?
Yes, can you hear me?
Now we can.
Yes.
Roman? Strano?
Yes.
Blaine,
Yes.
Hickey,
Yes.
Mrs. Yemakaitis.
Yes. Okay, is there anyone from the public who has any questions or comments on the budget? Please use your raised hand icon at this time.
It must be painful, man.
Okay, anyone from the public wishes to be heard at this time? Please use your raised hand icon. Okay, seeing none, can I have a motion to close the public hearing on the 2021 municipal budget?
Council
Make a
President.
motion that we close the public hearing on the budget.
Second.
Mr. Javik,
Yes.
Mohammed,
Yes.
Cosby,
Yes.
Roman.
Yeah.
Strano,
Yes.
Blaine,
Yes.
Hickey,
Yes.
Mrs. Yemakaitis.
Yes. Okay, we're gonna move on.
Now, move the budget.
Okay, Councilman
Wait,
Jack.
wait, I have a statement for you.
Okay,
Okay. Be it resolved by the council members of the city of Linden, county of Union, that the budget herein set forth is hereby adopted and shall constitute an appropriation for the purposes stated of the sums therein set forth as appropriations and authorization of the amount of $60,337,703.12 for municipal purposes and $2,251,564.01 minimum library tax.
okay, can we have a motion, please?
Council President, I move for approval and ask for a second.
Second.
Mr. Javik,
Yes.
Mohammed, Cosby,
Yes.
Yes.
Roman,
Yes.
Strano,
Yes.
Blaine,
Yes.
Hickey,
Yes.
Mrs. Yemakaitis.
Yes. Okay. We're gonna move on to ordinances on hearing, starting with ordinance 6532.
Bond ordinance providing an appropriation of $158,000 for improvements to Martin Luther King Park and authorizing the issuance of $83,600 bonds or notes of the city for financing part of the appropriation.
Okay, has the ordinance been properly published and posted?
Yes, ma'am.
Has any written communication been received?
No, ma'am.
Is there anyone from the public who wishes to be heard on this ordinance? Please use your raised hand icon. Okay, seeing none, can we have a motion, please?
Yes, Council President, I move to close the public hearing of ordinance number 6532. Move for approval and request a second.
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 Mr. Javik,
Yes.
Mohammed, Mr. Mohammed,
Yes.
Cosby,
Yes.
Roman,
Yes.
Strano,
Yes.
Blaine,
Yes.
Hickey,
Yes.
Mrs. Yemakaitis.
Yes. Ordinance 6533.
A bond ordinance providing an appropriation of $105,600 for environmental remediation assessment work for 940 South Park Avenue and authorizing the issuance of $100,320 bonds or notes of the city for financing part of the appropriation.
Okay, has the ordinance been properly published and posted?
Yes, ma'am.
Has any written communication been received?
No, ma'am.
Is there anyone from the public who wishes to be heard on this ordinance? Okay, seeing none, can we have a motion, please?
Yes, Council President, I move to close the public hearing of ordinance number 6533. Move for approval and request a second.
Second.
Mr. Javik? Mohammed?
Yes.
Crosby?
Yes.
Roman?
Yes.
Strano?
Yes.
Blaine?
Yes.
Hickey?
Yes.
Mrs. Yemakaitis?
Yes. Ordinance 6534.
An ordinance prohibiting the operation of any class of cannabis business within its geographical boundaries and amending Chapter 31 zoning, Section 31-20.25 prohibited uses of the Linden City Code.
Okay, has the ordinance been properly published and posted?
Yes, ma'am.
Has any written communication been received?
Yes, ma'am. Call upon the deputy clerk to read
Okay,
it.
Deputy Clerk?
Sure. Written communication regarding ordinance 65-34. Ordinance 6534 prohibiting the operation of any class of cannabis businesses within the geographical boundaries and amending Chapter 31 zoning, Section 31-20.25 prohibited uses of the Linden City Code. First, the ordinance is not what most people expected, including me. Thinking back to the conversation I had with the Linden mayor in May of 2021 and the council meeting when we discussed what our options were, it seemed as if the mayor was leaning towards directing the council members whose votes he controlled to opt out. I cannot say that I was at all surprised to see an ordinance on the agenda not to opt out of allowing businesses with the ability to revisit and specify what would be allowed at a later time. The Linden City Council members will literally ban all 6 licenses within the city limits by their votes this evening. I have to say that actions speak louder than words, and actions that the voting members of the Linden City Council take tonight will speak volumes. Although there are not millions of dollars in revenue that will come from allowing cannabis businesses, however, something is better than nothing. Moreover, the city would have the ability to designate a certain percentage of the local tax for retail and wholesale businesses for educational programs. This would be beneficial, especially since all of the mega apartment complexes that are being built in this city will not contribute 1 red cent to the Board of Education taxes. Why? Because they have the luxury of having 30-year payment in lieu of taxes agreements that do not require them to pay. And you can thank the mayor for instructing the council members who routinely vote as they are ordered to move in this direction, which has no flexibility as the opt-out ordinance would have. Council, when you vote with no consideration of the important things, such as how your vote impacts the regular members of the community, how it impacts the elderly taxpayers, the children, and potential business owners or employees, you are failing your constituents. More importantly, there was never any thought or attempt to have a public conversation with the residents of Linden. No town hall meetings, no information sessions. The lead sponsor of this legislation is a resident and business owner here in Linden. Why was Senator Scutari or any other members of the Cannabis Regulatory Commission not asked to represent in a public forum before this ordinance was introduced? All of the residents have now 2 minutes to express their support or not for this in public, and sadly, council members will, due to the new rules imposed by Council President Yemakaitis, cannot speak on the introduction of ordinances and have merely 2 minutes to speak today at the hearing. There has been a lack of transparency, a lack of inclusion of the residents on this very important matter. You know what we got? We got the option of lawyers who are in inclusion with same people who will likely vote for this ban on all 6 classes of licenses in the city. For shame. Whether or not we are going to patronize retail businesses isn't the issue at hand. The issue is that the lack of foresight for those ramming these restrictions down the throats of the general public. Regular folks who will likely have no idea what this means for their future. Higher taxes on the backs of residents due to an overabundance of rental developments and a lack of industry. Finally, the city's planner has written to the elected official and states in part that the proper zoning and so on, cannabis businesses are not in line with the city's master plan. So what is the problem? The problem is that we have people lack representation that is realistic. We, the people, lack a voice here in local government when the lawmakers do whatever they want and then tell you about it later. Linden residents deserve better than this. If your elected representative votes against your interest, you, by all means, should vote against them at their next election. Signed, Councilwoman Roshana Cosby Hurling.
Hey, is there anyone from the public who wishes to be heard on this ordinance? Okay, seeing none, can we have a motion, please?
Council President,
Am I allowed to speak?
We're going to go to discussion. We're going to have a motion first, Mayor.
Okay, thank you.
I'd like to make
We
a
have a
motion.
motion, please?
Council President, this is Councilman Strano. I'd like to make the motion to close the hearing on ordinance number 65-34 and request a second. Move for adoption and request a second.
Second.
Okay, discussion? That was Councilman Blaine. Okay, Mayor Armstead?
Yes, thank you, Council President. I'm really taken aback by the statement that was read by the councilwoman, read by the clerk for the councilwoman of the Fifth Ward. The unfortunate thing is that I think it would behoove us to really do our homework before we come on, go online and speak publicly regarding any issues. Now, it was my understanding that there was a general feeling of that the council was moving forward with this without everybody being informed. So we decided to have further discussion on this. The other thing is that at last month's council meeting, I don't think she was there, we discussed why we were not moving forward with this particular ordinance in the fashion that she would like to have seen it take. You know, I think the idea here is that we can opt out, okay? And we're opting out, and we can also opt back in. But once you opt in, you're in. There's no opting back out. So as a governing body, we decided to opt out, have further discussion, and come up with a plan that we think is good for the city of Linden and the residents of our town. So I think the councilwoman is a little ahead of herself. And again, I think it would behoove us to do our due diligence prior to coming out making statements that are certainly incorrect. I don't think anyone here, anybody in the governing body, has ruled out marijuana as a whole for the town. At this point, we're just opting out. It gives us the ability to further discuss what is good for this city. Okay, and that's what we have every intention on doing that as a governing body. I take exception to the fact that you think that this governing body is taking direction from me and I'm giving out some sort of directions and telling them what to do and what not to do. Again, the issue here is to allow the governing body to discuss this at greater length so that we can look at our city and figure out which of the options that are available to us are best for our city. We certainly talked about cultivation. We talked about sales. And we're going to look at this in its totality. And I think the idea of us opting out gives us the opportunity to further discuss it, to come up with a plan that we think is good for our city, and then opt in to whatever we think is best for the city. We're not opting out with the idea of totally opting out, as you would let some of the audience to believe. We're opting out so that we can have further discussion, because if we opt in this evening, we're in. Okay, so opting out gives us the opportunity to discuss it further, come up with a plan of attack that we think is beneficial to our city, and then we opt in for what we think is good for our city. So let's not try to make this into a situation where we're going to, as a city, lose. I mean, and certainly the one statement that you made, higher taxes, well, that is certainly not the issue in our town. I can tell you that by the introduction of our budget this evening, higher taxes is not even on our agenda at all. And if you want to talk about this council taking my direction and listening to me for one thing, that's the one thing that I'm very happy that they've listened to, is the fact that we've refused to raise taxes since 2018. If this council wants to be,
Council President, point of order.
if this council wants to listen to me, then certainly they can listen to me when I tell
Point
them.
of order.
Councilman Bowman, what's your point of order?
I just have to remark on what's probably in everyone's head is that the rules that you instituted for this council where we're only allowed to speak on an ordinance for 2 minutes does not include the mayor. I think the mayor is not only gotten his point across, however, he's going on and then going off the fact that we're talking about a cannabis ordinance.
The last time I looked at the rules of governing in this situation, Councilman Roman, is that the council president runs the meeting. Okay.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
The council president can change, council president, respectfully, the council president can change and the council can change the rules. However, the rules are set. It does not allow the mayor or any other member of the governing body to go on and on and on.
Well,
And at the council president's discretion, I could give extra time, which I was going to give to everyone this evening, Councilman Roman. So, Mayor, could you please conclude?
It's always fair. Thank you, Council President.
I'm going to conclude by telling the councilman in the 6th Ward he should not try to run the meeting. Let the council president run the meeting as that is her duly elected position to run the meeting. And if she wasn't here, the council president pro tem would run the meeting. And you're neither. So please refrain from interrupting when the mayor is talking, especially about something as important as a cannabis ordinance.
Mayor, we'll move on, okay?
And us should address in its totality. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Antonelli, I'd like to call on you to, since you're representing many towns on this particular ordinance.
Yeah, thank you, Council President. Just a couple things before I actually get to the issue. I just would like to correct, for the record, the ordinances on hearing, members of the public are given 3 minutes, not 2 minutes. So while I know it's 1 minute more, it certainly was incorrect by the statement of the councilwoman that there's 2 minutes. In addition to that, I'd just like to point out that as far as the rules are concerned, once there's a motion and a second and it's opened up by you, Council President, for discussion, there is no stated time limit for either the mayor or any member of council to discuss the issue that's before the body. And certainly, Council President, it would be within your rights to manage that conversation so that we're not perhaps talking about this for an inordinate amount of time. So that being said, I will tell you this. As you pointed out, Council President, my firm represents several municipalities, 4 including Linden as the appointed municipal attorney, a special counsel to many others. At least half, last I checked, perhaps more, municipalities throughout the state of New Jersey are adopting, if not the same, a similar ordinance that's before the body now. And as the mayor pointed out, this ordinance, if you fail to act as required by the cannabis law, the city then would be subject to the 6 licenses that are permitted under the law. So yes, we did attempt initially to move in a direction where perhaps this council would have considered some or all of the licenses that are permitted under the new cannabis law. However, timing wise, it just did not work. And that's not a criticism of this council or of the city of Linden. That's just the practical reality. The legislature took years to craft this legislation, and once passed, they gave the municipalities like Linden, Union, and others a mere 6 months to decide what they want to do on this very important issue. As you're all aware, the regulations create a cannabis commission, and we have yet to receive any rules or regulation that govern the licenses that are permitted under the law. I'm told that they may be issued in the next few days, and obviously, even if that were the case, it still doesn't allow us time to act before August 21st. If we don't act, then we are subject to all the permitted licenses under the cannabis law. So all this ordinance is doing, and to be clear, is allow the city council and other stakeholders to have a robust discussion moving forward as to what it wants to permit and what it does not. And at some future date and time, an ordinance will be prepared based upon the consensus of council and consistent with their direction as to what it wants to do. So that is the intent. That was the plan, to at least try and move forward, but we just couldn't do it in the short period of time. So all this ordinance does is keeps us out of it for a moment. And then at some future date and time, once we have a consensus to move forward in whatever direction the council sees fit. So that's all this ordinance is doing. And like I said, many, many other towns, at least half that I'm aware of, and perhaps more, as you're all aware, there's over 500 municipalities in the state of New Jersey. At least half are adopting a similar or the same type of ordinance. And let's not mistake, the New Jersey League of Municipalities has also given this advice that municipalities should opt out and then revisit it as you move forward. And that's all we're doing here. Thank you, Council President.
Thank you, Mr. Antonelli. Councilwoman Cosby?
First, I wasn't here last month, and I'm sure you can understand why I wasn't here last month, Mayor. We got a drafted ordinance several months ago, and the language was a little different. So this, when you see that it's banning, not opting out, that's the reason for my written communication. Because people, and again, we were promised a special meeting. We were supposed to invite, folks, not lawyers that work for the city of Linden, but folks who are writing these laws to come and speak to the public. Other cities are doing it. And like I said in the written communication, the city planner did not say that cannabis businesses were not part of the master plan. So I know that every time I make a statement or say something that, people get all, in a tizzy and want to jump down my throat, I have the right to send a written communication. And, that's my opinion. The language in the ordinance is banning prohibited uses. That's different from opting out to revisit. I'm just saying what I read. So if you want to be, clear, then put in clear language. That's all I'm saying. Period. We got a drafted ordinance that was quite different from this one. It didn't say prohibit. It didn't say ban. We're going to revisit, look at it later, not to be allowed until reconsider, whatever. I'm just saying. Every time I say something, it's always a thing. And I did forward Mr. Antonelli a copy of the rules. It is 2 minutes from what I read. I just sent you an email. So if it's wrong, then send me back a corrected copy and send it to all of us because we all got the same thing.
Thank you, Councilwoman. And as Mr. Antonelli had said, we should have some more direction at the end of this week when we'll have some more information on this. So we can possibly have a meeting with the public to discuss. This is a very important topic that affects many areas of the city and New Jersey. So we'll have more information on that.
Council President, excuse me, I was unable to raise my hand.
Okay, go ahead, Councilwoman.
Yes, thank you. We did discuss this lengthy in our meeting last month. I agree with the mayor. Councilwoman Cosby, with all due respect, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. You cannot come to a meeting and insult all your other fellow council members on what their opinion is as well. Please ask any of my residents how I care about them. You have no right coming on here and saying that we don't care about our residents, our children, our profits, our revenues. We made a decision last month that we will most likely opt in once we review everything in more detail and do it correctly, per our attorney, per all of us discussing the matter. So I am in agreement with the mayor, with our attorney, and I believe with all the other fellow council members, with the exception of yourself, on this decision. I just want to let the public know that we are able to opt in, but if we opted in now without having our ducks in a row, we wouldn't have things been prepared properly. We want to make sure our ordinances, our laws, and our rules are set in place appropriately for the best interests of the residents. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Councilman Roman?
Thank you, Council President. Before I became verbally upset with the mayor speaking on and on about other things other than this ordinance, and I'd like to apologize for being short with him. However, I am 100% on forward with this ordinance, with the mayor's assessment, with our council's assessment. The powers that be haven't done exactly a lot of favors for the municipalities in this regard. If we leave this open and we do not act today, we are allowing everything. And the point being is that I don't want marijuana retail shops next to School 6 and Seoul Middle School and Mcmanus. And I do believe there is a notion in the statute that forbids the 1,000 feet rule. I hope there is. I heard there was. But I don't want it on some parts of Wood Avenue. If you want it on 1 and 9 near the Gothels Bridge, maybe. Let's talk about that. I'll take the revenue. It's 2% or whatever, you know, and I'm sure that'll help the city. But if we don't do anything here, we are going to have 100% open field day to where someone comes to Wood Avenue and wants to make a marijuana or a retail shop on every single storefront. We can't stop that. And then this ordinance is allowing us to pop back in when we're ready to, when we're given more guidance. Personally, I would allow distribution, retail, not everything but retail automatic. Because if you want to wholesale and grow it and cultivate it out in Tremley in one of these huge warehouses they're building on those Superfund sites, go for it. That's just revenue for us at the end of the day, and it's all it is packing and delivering. But as for the retail component, I'm skeptical about it, where it will be. As long as it's zoned properly, but that's exactly what this ordinance is allowing us to do down the road. So thank you, Council President. Thank you, Council, for the absolutely detailed opinion on this, and I think we can move on from here.
Thank you, Councilman. Good reason why this whole thing needs to be reviewed and torn apart. You know, everybody has the idea, not in my neighborhood. You mentioned the Gothels Bridge area. That's my neighborhood, Bay Way. You know, I think we really.
Sorry, Council President. I just meant 1 and 9, like in general, like on 1 and 9 only, not in your neighborhood. Just want to be clear on that.
Thank you. Mayor Armstead.
I just want to reiterate, I mean, the legislative intent of this ordinance is to protect the city, is for us to re-examine what will be allowed and what's going to be allowed and what we should allow to happen in our city. Okay, our attorney, Dan Antonelli, has given us a very good explanation. I don't think any of us want marijuana being sold near School 6, School 2, School 5, School 10, School 9, any other school. Now, I do understand that School 6 is in your is in the neighborhood of the 6th Ward councilman, and I understand that you want to do a little, you know, a little grandstanding here, but I just want to make everybody clear that the legislative intent of us in this ordinance was for us to be able to examine it more thoroughly and come up with a more comprehensive approach to how we're going to be dealing with marijuana as it pertains to sales and distribution in the city of Linden. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Blaine.
I lowered my hand, but since you called on me, I'll add my opinion to this. Again, this is not to rebuke the inevitable. We know that it's coming. We know that it's here. It's just that this allows us to get a grasp on it. And once we get a better understanding of how to handle it with police enforcement, how it affects the community, which neighborhoods it belongs in, once we get a good grip on that, then we can revisit it and adopt something accordingly. But as of right now, I'm agreeing with all the other council members to this ordinance. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Councilwoman Cosby, let's.
Yeah, just to finish it up, again, my main point was the language. And also, you know, it's hard to understand the intent if all you get is an ordinance sent to you. There's no conversation about anything. I get it. My concern was it's clearly not, in my opinion, the way it's written. It doesn't look like it's flexible to me. And I can say whatever I want to say. And what I said was in writing, so people can interpret it however they will. I'm so tired of being chastised by you all when I come here. Let me do what I got to do, and you do what you have to do.
Okay, Mr. Antonelli.
Yeah, thank you, Council President. I'm looking at the ordinance, and again, it's really a matter of semantics, but when I read it, it talks about prohibiting the operation of any class of cannabis. I mean, to me, ban, prohibit, are they interchangeable? But at least when I read this ordinance, it's clear to me that what this council is doing, if they choose to adopt this ordinance, is simply opt out of the 5 or 6 classes of licenses that the law permits. And that's all this is doing.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Antonelli. Okay, we had a motion and a second on the floor. Could we have a roll call, please?
Mr. Javik,
Yes.
Mr. Mohammed, Mr. Mohammed.
Yes.
Ms. Cosby. Ms. Cosby,
I said no. No.
thank you. Omen,
Yes.
Strano, Strano,
I'm sorry, I didn't unmute myself. My vote is yes.
Blaine,
Yes.
Hickey,
Yes.
Yamakitis,
Yes. Okay. Ordinance 6535.
an ordinance to amend and supplement Chapter 7, Traffic of an ordinance entitled, an ordinance adopting and enacting the revised general ordinances of the city of Linden, 1999, passed November 23rd, 1999, and approved November 24th, 1999, and as amended and supplemented. Chapter 7, Traffic, Section 7-22.1, four-way stop intersection shall be, and the same is hereby amended as follows. 7-22.1, four-way stop intersections. Intersection, add DeWitt Street and West Elm Street, signs to be located on DeWitt Street and West Elm and DeWitt Street.
Okay, has the ordinance been properly published and posted?
Yes, ma'am.
Has any written communication been received?
No, ma'am.
Is there anyone that wishes to be heard on this ordinance from the public? Okay, seeing none, can we have a motion, please?
Yes, Council President, I move to close the public hearing of ordinance number 6535. Move for approval and request a second.
Second.
Mr. Javik,
Yes.
Mohammed,
Yes.
Cosby,
Yes.
Roman,
Yes.
Strano,
No.
Blaine.
Yes.
Hickey,
Yes.
Mrs. Yamakitis.
Yes. Ordinance 6536.
An ordinance to amend and supplement Chapter 7, Traffic of an ordinance entitled, an ordinance adopting and enacting the revised general ordinances of the city of Linden, 1999, passed November 23rd, 1999, and approved November 24th, 1999, and as amended and supplemented. Chapter 7, Traffic, Section 7-24, turn prohibitations shall be, and the same is hereby amended as follows. 7-24, turn prohibitations. Add street name East Baltimore Avenue. The prohibition is no left turn from East Baltimore Avenue southbound onto East Elizabeth Avenue. Add West Baltimore Avenue. The prohibition is no left turn from West Baltimore Avenue southbound onto East Elizabeth Avenue.
Okay, has the ordinance been properly published and posted?
Yes, ma'am.
Has any written communication been received?
No, ma'am.
Is there anyone that wishes to be heard on this ordinance from the public? Okay, seeing none, can we have a motion, please? Can we have a motion, please?
Council President, I move that this ordinance 6536, that the hearing be closed, the ordinance adopted, request a second.
Second.
Okay, discussion? Councilwoman Cosby?
I hate to ask a stupid question, but are we prohibiting left turns on every street that comes up to Elizabeth Avenue? Because here's my concern. I don't understand it. I know I had a hard time getting stop signs, and we're doing this to the folks. We already stopped them from going all the way up. Now we're stopping them from going all the way down and going whichever way you want to go. So my comment is simply, the traffic situation in Linden is what it is, but now, we're going to demand people go a certain way. But so we're going out of our way. I'm just saying, this is just my comments. I don't need anybody to say anything. It's not a question. I'm just putting it out there.
Okay, can we have a roll call, please?
Mr. Javik? Mohammed?
Yes.
Cosby?
No.
Roman?
Yes.
Strano?
Yes.
Blaine?
Yes.
Hickey?
Yes.
Mrs. Yemakaitis?
Yes. Okay, ordinance 6537. Councilman Javik? Can you, we agreed to table this last night. Can you make a motion to table, please?
Council President, did you just say 6537?
Yes.
That's
That's
the
not the one.
parking.
Yes. Yes, it is.
That's-
So we're
Whatever you-
tabling 6538.
No,
No,
ma'am.
that's a salary. It's this one.
The
Council
parking- the parking.
agreed last night to table this. till
Okay,
next
I'd
month.
like to make a motion to table 6537 and ask for a second.
Second.
Okay.
Mr. Javik?
Yes.
Mohammed? Mr. Mohammed?
Yes.
Cosby?
Yes.
Roman?
Yes.
Strano?
Clarification, this is the vote to table it?
Yes,
Yes.
yes, sir.
Okay, yes.
Blaine?
Yes.
Hickey?
Yes.
Mrs. Yemakaitis?
Yes. Okay, ordinance 6538, please.
An ordinance to amend an ordinance entitled, an ordinance establishing a schedule of titles, salary ranges, and regulations for maintaining the classification and salary standardization plan of all employees of the city of Linden, passed August 15th, 1995, and approved August 16th, 1999, adding Schedule 4-PP-6.
Okay, has the ordinance been properly published and posted?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Has any written communication been received?
No, ma'am.
Is there anyone from the public who wishes to be heard on this ordinance? Okay, seeing none, can we have a motion, please?
Council President, I'd like to move that the hearing on ordinance number 6538 be closed, the ordinance adopted, and request a second.
Second.
Mr. Javik?
Yes.
Mohammed? Mr. Mohammed? Cosby?
No.
Roman?
Yes.
Strano?
Yes.
Blaine?
Yes.
Hickey?
Yes.
Mrs. Yemakaitis?
Yes.
Ms. Cosby, I don't mean to, but was your vote yes or no? Because it kind of got mixed in with,
It was no.
thank you.
Okay, we're going to move on to consent agenda items. All items listed with asterisks are considered to be routine by the city council and will be enacted with one motion. There will be no separate discussion on these items unless a council member so requests. We have items number 1 through 7. Does any council member wish to remove an item? Okay, seeing none, could we have a motion, please? Could we have a motion on the consent agenda, please?
Make a motion that we adopt the consent agenda items 1 through 7 and ask for a second.
Second.
Mr. Javik?
Yes.
Mohammed,
Yes.
Cosby,
Yes.
Roman,
Yes.
Strano,
Yes.
Blaine,
Yes.
Hickey,
Yes.
Mrs. Yemakaitis.
Yes. Okay, we're going to move on to committee reports and comments from the members of the governing body. We'll start with Councilman Javik.
Yes, Council President. First, I'd like to do the street light installation here. I'm going to make a motion for approval of an installation of a street light at the following location and request a second. The pole is located directly across from 2104 Carolina Avenue. There is no number on the pole.
Second.
Javik,
Yes.
Mohammed, Councilman Mohammed,
Yes.
Cosby,
Yes.
Roman,
Yes.
Strano,
Yes.
Blaine,
Yes.
Hickey,
Yes.
Mrs. Yemakaitis.
Yes.
Yes, Council President, regarding the budget review and finance, approval is requested for the following finance actions. The payment of bills totaling $2,467,380.24. Bills have been signed by the mayor, council president, and finance chairwoman, and a detailed check register and vouchers are on file in the clerk's office. We are in receipt of investments made by the city treasurer for the month of July at the rate of 0.05%. I move for approval and ask for a second.
Second.
Mr. Javik,
Yes.
Mohammed,
Yes.
Cosby,
I abstain.
Roman,
Yes.
Strano,
Yes.
Blaine, Hickey,
Yes.
Mrs. Yemakaitis.
Abstain. Okay, go ahead, Councilman Javik.
Yes, Council President, as chairman of the fire committee, the Fire Prevention Bureau collected the following monies during the month of July 2021. A total of $8,130.40. Regarding the Linden Fire Department ambulance billing, the amount of $56,263.75 for July 2021 have been added to the total deposits for 2021, totaling $425,838.17. Good evening, everyone. First and foremost, I would like to thank the men and women that participate in our City of Linden Planning Board. By their participation, our city stands out as a highly desirable place for living and development. The existing results abound and speak to their accomplishments. So thank you all. In the second ward, ongoing work continues on West Blanky Street and Brook Street. End date being around the end of September. Cleanups and restoration will follow. In regards to West Elm Street, preliminaries have started. Residents have received letters of expectations of movement going forward. Lexington Dog Park, work has begun, but until such time as this park is at 100% quality of workmanship from contractor and city work and a finished functional product, it will not be open for use. I'm hopeful that we will be at that right place by the end of September, so we can have a city dedication there. One of the important quality of life issues we face as homeowners is a lack of respect of some dog owners who just don't clean up after their pets. We as a city are looking at this. Any information anyone can provide to us will be acted on, and if warranted, a summons will be issued. The new school season is upon us, and we are looking to hire more school guards. Applications are available on our city website and at the Traffic Bureau at City Hall. Also, don't forget about your new residential parking permits. If you're in your area, if it's warranted, The traffic department will be staying open later to accommodate the public. City updates are always available on our City of Linden website, or visit me at Facebook at Second Ward Councilman Barry E. Javick. I could also be reached at 908-494-4608 or email me at bjavick@linden-newjersey.gov. Council President, end of my report.
Thank you, Councilman Javick. Okay, Councilman Mohammed.
Yes, to my President. Council President, good evening, my dear friends and neighbors. I'm delighted to provide you with a brief synopsis of progress in our fourth ward that's taken place over the past month. Repairs, road surface cracks, ceilings have been performed at multi-locations when weather conditions permitted, in addition to sorely needed weed whacking in Hattie Johnson Park. Street sweepers are seen regularly and things are looking up around our neighborhood. Sewer update. Sewer repair work involving excavation has taken place as needed at 2 previously troubled spots. Mission accomplished. Special thanks to all my residents who make the time and take the time to beautify your property. It truly makes a difference and has a positive impact. Shame on me if I didn't acknowledge a particular family, a constituent that graciously invited me over for a cookout. Although they chose to remain anonymous, and I honor that request, I want them to know just how much it meant to me to have been invited to join you and your children for a few hours of delightful food and conversation. The company was terrific, and that peach cobbler won't be soon forgotten. And the apple cobbler is coming up next. The bottom line, folks, is that you called and I respond. I thank you all for the opportunity to partner with you, our mayor, and our dedicated city employees for the betterment of our fine fourth ward. That concludes my fourth ward report, Madam Council President. And I also like to offer my sympathy to the earthquake victims in Haiti and all the tragedies that they have experienced, and ask you and the council and the city to keep them out in your prayers and remember. Thank you, Council President.
Thank you, Councilman Mohammed. Okay, Councilwoman Cosby. Councilwoman Cosby.
I'm gonna ask you if you can hear me before I start talking.
Yes, we can.
Okay. Good evening. First, I'd like to correct my written communication statement that the public has 2 minutes to speak at a hearing for an ordinance. You get 3 minutes. More importantly, the purpose of my communication was to urge the voting members of council to consider opting in the future and include members of the public in the conversation. There was no need for the browbeating that took place here. It's nothing new, but so unwarranted. Get out of your feelings. We are all entitled to our own opinions. From the Shade Tree Commission, the USDA has submitted to the chair a proposal to treat various areas in the 6th and 7th ward for the spotted lanternfly. The chair has also submitted additional locations for inspection and treatment if warranted. There's a resolution 2021-280 on tonight to authorize this control project. The New Jersey Department of Agriculture has a dedicated webpage. It's newjersey.gov/agriculture/divisions. It's a long one, but it will be in the official minutes, and you can go up there and look for it. It's about spotted lanternfly. If you do see the insect, call to report the location to the state of New Jersey. The telephone number is 609-406-6943. I have no minutes from the rent leveling board. In the 5th ward, curb repairs are being done. The engineering department is working off an older list and has also included some emergent areas. If you have a tree that has pushed up your walk and created a hazard, please let me know so that I can ask to have it the area inspected and added to the list for repair in 2022. Some streets in the 4th District were temporarily closed for this project. I was unable to send alerts because I was not alerted. After a couple of years of no and a couple of years of insistence from me and the cooperation of the Borough of Roselle, Lyndon, and Roselle Police, the City of Lyndon's engineer, we were able to get the New Jersey Department of Transportation, New Jersey DOT, to add my little project of adding a stoplight on East St. George's Avenue for safer pedestrian crossing at Carolyn Terrace. I am proud that I never gave up on this much needed safety initiative that will undoubtedly save lives. Resolution 2021-286 authorizes the payment of the city's one-time financial obligation, which is shared with the Borough of Roselle. This year's annual fee-free yard sale is again scheduled for the 3rd Saturday in August, which is the 21st, with a rain date of the 22nd. If you plan to have a yard sale on this date and you want me to share the block with your on my social media, and hopefully it'll also get posted on the city's website and social media, please text 908-718-7933. For whatever reason, the city's moving away from Outlook and moving to Google for email, and my email will be changed to rcosby@linden-nj.gov by week's end. So please note the change. The Linden Lions Club is hosting a Friday fish fry fundraiser on September the 17th. Pick up your hot, fresh fried fish from Wheeler Park in the parking lot, and it will run from 3 p.m. until 6 p.m. All orders are pickup only and must be prepaid. The donation is $20 for tickets. Contact any club member, or you may pay in advance using Cash App. It's $Roaring Linden Lions. I want to wish my baby girl, Cece, a happy 17th birthday. Lastly, I wanted to thank those who were kind enough to reach out to our family when we lost our beloved daughter, mother, sister, cousin. Your acts of kindness and expressions of sincere condolences were appreciated. My Ashley Amanda lives on through her children and always in our hearts. Our lives will never, ever be the same. And I just wanted to thank you all kindly. You know who you are. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Councilman Roman?
Thank you, Council President. I'd just like to start and expressing my public condolences to Ms. Cosby. I knew Ashley a very long time, and I met Ashley campaigning for Rashana 9 years ago, at least. I don't know, but what a great woman. I'm sorry for your loss, sincerely. 6th Ward report. Before I start this report, just want to speak out loud about some feelings I have. 3 weeks from now is the 20th anniversary of September 11th. And we're going to find our way onto our calendars. I can't believe that it's been 20 years. 20 years ago on 9/11, I was at St. Elizabeth's School, no more than a block away from City Hall in 8th grade religion class. I'll never forget the day. I'll never forget the immense sacrifice so many people and soldiers since then, specifically and especially Wanda Green, who was a flight attendant on one of the planes. What I remember most of the days after 9/11 is that the patriotic feeling that engulfed us for a brief time. It's perhaps the last time I remember these states being truly united. I ask, as this 20th anniversary approaches, please find it within yourself to do something nice. Go out of your way for someone in need. With that, I'm going to try to make an actual 6th Ward report quick. Across from Walmart, I reported last month that the grass was out of control on the properties of the old parking lots, once used by GM for on the other side of Pleasant, not on the side that Walmart is on. We have this beautiful new retail center opening up with more and more stores, but yet, across the street looks like a wasteland. I know that some city officials have helped a little bit in dirt that was dumped there for months, literally 8 months out of there. But there is still dirt that remains there. It has not been mowed or taken care of once this month. And I'm excited that there's a new health officer, and with all the reorganization going on there, I trust that they will be able to break through and help the residents over there of those 76 homes on Smith and Hampton. So don't think we're not working, people. We are. We're just, we got growing pains here. West Linden Ave at Southwood Avenue is supposed to be paved this month, so please watch out for that. We will post it far and wide. It will be on Nixle. On days like that, when it's going to pave an intersection, I would suggest avoiding the area traffic-wise. We are expecting some rain this week. I've already if not all of them, vacuumed and jetted all of our problem areas. I just want to thank DPW for vacuuming and jetting
Mr. Roman, we lost you.
appreciate the extra other measures to make that run better from the county. The county's looking to install a crosswalk on Southwood Avenue, right near our health building at 600 block of Southwood. I will have an update for this next month. I'm also working with the county to repair the fences. I've gotten a few complaints about the fences on 1 and 9 that were damaged by several car accidents over the last year at the front of Wheeler Park. And finally, I would like to thank all who came out to support the Winfield Fire Department Carnival at their fire department at their annual carnival. They were rained out one of the 4 days, which has become quite a risk. It was really nice family event. It was really great to hear the loudspeaker go and eat some ribs and let the kids enjoy all the rides. If you are looking for a similar experience, or if you missed the Winfield Carnival, the Kenilworth Carnival is this week, going till Saturday. It's all proceeds go to their volunteer fire department, and it's gonna be a great night for you and your kids. So it's right off exit 138 near St. Teresa's School in Kenilworth. And last but not least, with a few more retirees happening this month, I just wanted to really give my sincere thanks to Mary Ellen Tango, who spent an entire career helping the most vulnerable Linden citizens that we have in social services. Thank you. And to Johnny Venditto, I know it wasn't always the easiest, and I want you to sincerely know that Sixth Ward appreciates your service and all you did for us, whether it's in a drain or cutting some of the public in Sixth Ward. To both of you, I simply say thank you, and you enjoy your well-deserved retirement. Thank you, Council President. That concludes my report.
Councilman Strano?
Thank you, Council President. I might need a little extra time because I'm going to read the personnel report, and then we've got some comments for my ward as well. But starting with the police department, we're accepting the resignation in good standing of Juan Aviles, police officer, which was effective August 8th of 2021. 2, in the Office of Constituent Services, we're amending the hiring date of Haiti Brown James, a clerk 1 part-time effective August 17th of 2021, not to exceed 25 hours per week. 3, in the Municipal Court, A, is the change in compensation method for Zachariah Brown from part-time to full-time clerk 1 at an annual salary of $34,548 effective August 18th of 2021. 4, in the tax assessor's office, A, is permission to post for 1 full-time clerk 1 at the annual salary of $34,548. 5, is in the construction code. A, is the provisional appointment of Marissa De Silva to a full-time technical assistant to the construction code official, TACO, effective 9/1/21 at the annual salary of $45,000. B, is a change in compensation method from part-time to full-time electrical subcode official of Michael Jusific at the annual salary of $85,000, which is effective September 1st, 2021. C is the internal designation of Dennis Carbone from full-time plumbing subcode official to include mechanical inspector, a requirement to satisfy New Jersey Uniform Construction Code regulations at the annual salary of $85,000 effective August 18th, 2021. D is a change in compensation method for Tracy Birch from part-time to full-time clerk 1, effective September 1st, 2021, at the current annual salary of $41,696. E is permission to post for 1 full-time clerk. 6, in the Department of Community Services, in the Division of Public Works, A is accepting the resignation in good standing of Jaleel Spahn, effective July 27th of 2021. In Parking and Transportation, A is permission to post for 2 laborers at the hourly rate of $15 per hour. In Buildings and Grounds, provisional appointment of Andrew Miller to Maintenance Worker 1, Grounds, Tier 2, at the hourly rate of $17 an hour, effective August 18th of 2021. B is permission to post for 2 laborers at the hourly rate of $15 per hour. 7, in Social Services, A is the temporary appointment of John Watkins to Acting Director of Welfare, not to exceed 90 days at the annual salary of $70,000 effective September 1st of 2021. 8, personnel, granting the FMLA and NJ FMLA to the following employees. The list is on file in the Division of Personnel. I move for approval and request a second.
Second.
Mr. Mohammed,
Yes.
Crosby,
I think everybody should have a high school. I'm voting no.
Roman,
Yes.
Strano,
Yes.
Blaine,
Yes.
Hickey,
yes,
Yemakaitis.
Yes. So go ahead, Councilman Strano.
Council President, I'm going to request a special couple of minutes. I would really like to have Chief Haskell, if he's available, comment on the fuel spill in the 7th Ward. That was one of Phillips 66's fuel storage tanks. I had a lot of constituents that were concerned about what had happened and what the cleanup entailed. And if he's got any details that weren't put out publicly on social media, or even those people who weren't didn't have access to it or didn't see it, if he's available, is he available? Oh yeah, there he is. Steve, I was trying to give you a heads up on this. I hope I'm not catching you, but can you comment on this for me, please?
Yes, of course, Councilman.
Thank you.
Yeah, so on July 26th, the Linden Fire Department, approximately around 1900 hours, the fire department responded to Phillips 66 to their Rahway River tank farm. This is located approximately at 1600 Lower Road. And upon arrival, we met with the Phillips 66 Fire Chief, Tony Muccia, at the command post, and he had informed us that there was a gasoline release, and it was released into a secondary containment area on site, and that all the material that was released did remain and was contained on the site. The Linden Fire Department, our services and resources weren't needed. The Bayway emergency responders handled the incident themselves. However, we did stay on scene until the incident was stabilized. Once it was stabilized, they went to a recovery mode, which included cleanup. Was cleanup of the gasoline release from the tank. During the incident and during the cleanup, residents and workers in the area, I know we had received some calls that they were experiencing odors of gasoline. I mean, something that you would be similar to if you're filling up your car with gas, if you smelled it, that's what they were experiencing. Obviously, much more stronger odor. Phillips 66, throughout the incident, when we arrived on scene and all through the recovery mode, had air monitoring set up. They also hired a third-party monitoring specialist to assist with the air monitoring for in and around the site and areas throughout the city. All levels were within safe readings. Even though you might have smelt the odor of gas, the odors were in a safe level. Cleanup continued for about 4 or 5 days. Currently, at this point in time, all product is, there's no free product on the ground. The recovery mode is completed and the cleanup has been done. I know Phillips 66 put out press releases daily, which we forwarded and put out on Nixle on our city website. The police department put them on their social media accounts through their public information officer, as well as OEM, and on our social media accounts as well. A Department Personnel, a DEP, Environmental Protection case was created, which documents the incident. And then during the cleanup mode, the fire department, we responded 800 hours each day for a debriefing at the command post in regards to what was taking place. And it kept us abreast throughout the whole incident about the cleanup. Again, through the incident, Phillips 66 was 100% transparent with us. We were part of the process. And it's ironic, just 2 weeks ago, we had a tabletop training exercise that included us, police, OEM, for a similar incident. So it was good that, we continue to work together and train for a real incident like this. So we're happy to report that there were no injuries and nothing catastrophic had happened. And that's my report, unless you have any other questions for me about the incident.
Thank you, Chief Vasco.
Thank you, Chief. I do have one question though, and this is one that seemed to be a little bit evasive on an answer. Does anybody know how large that spill was?
I had asked just recently about the final number. They're still totaling it. They don't have that number yet, but on the DEP case, it's documented as at approximately 1,000 gallons.
Wow, that's quite it was quite aromatic in the fumes that were coming from it. Because I remember the last time that it happened, it was over 3,000 gallons.
Yeah. So I had asked that question again. During the process, they weren't able to provide me with a total amount.
And the cause of this spill, does anybody know what that was?
Yeah. No, I don't know. They said it was still under investigation.
Right, because the last time somebody literally overfilled the tank.
Right.
The alarms go off, but at that point in time, a lot had escaped. Thank you, Chief. And again, as everybody knows, we had a great fire department, and thank you for your great services.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm going to move on to some other issues in my ward. And thank you for obliging me, Council President, for the extra time. I just want everybody to know the reason why I'm voting no on these four-way stop signs. It's not that I don't agree with it or I don't approve it, and it's nothing personal. But this is my second tour on council, started in 2015. I was gone for 8 years. But before I left the first time in 2007, I was asking for four-way stop signs in my ward. And as far as I can tell, I think I'm the only ward in the city that doesn't have one four-way stop sign intersection. So between now and the time that I get one, I won't be supporting one anywhere else in the city. It's clearly, my protest, and, take it for what it's worth. But until that changes, that's the way I'm going to be voting. No offense to the second ward councilman or any of the residents there. I believe in safety for everybody, including my ward. I've had a couple of intersections on Winans Avenue where I've had multiple accidents in 1 month. I even had a child hit on a bicycle at the corner of 16th and Winans Avenue. And if that's not enough to warrant the four-way stop signs I've been asking for, I don't know what is. Other than that, I'll get off that high horse for a minute. the other issue was I'm looking for the traffic accident review committee to continue on the investigation. They were supposed to limit the left turn out and left turn into the exit from Aviation Plaza by the AMC movie theater. I see no action on that. We even had that roadway resurfaced, and to fix it now, it's going to ruin all the striping that they put down. And that was supposed to be investigated. A ball was dropped on that. Pretty upset about that as well. I want to thank Councilwoman Cosby for mentioning the spider and lanternfly contact. I was getting a lot of calls and inquiries on that. And if anybody missed the information that she gave out, please go to the city website and make contact with our Shade Tree Commissioner, Jeff Tandle. He has that information as well. And lastly, on retirement, I want to wish John Venditto, a pleasant, long retirement. He certainly put his time in the city. Hardworking guy, as well as Mary Ellen Tango, served the city well for many, many years. I wish them both health and happiness and a long retirement. And that concludes my report for this month, Council President. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Strano. Councilman Blaine?
Yes, good evening, everyone. I'd like to start off by mentioning a notification from the Traffic Bureau and the Linden Police Department. It's an advisory. This advisory is for all residents with parking permits that's due to expire on 12/31. The Traffic Bureau has extended hours for residents to renew. Residents permits that are set to expire 12/21, eligible residents are recently mailed a letter describing the process of renewal, and there'll be extended hours from on Wednesday, August 18th, Thursday the 19th, Tuesday the 24th, Wednesday the 25th, Monday the 30th, and Friday the 3rd. So please renew your parking permits. With all the retired, I want to congratulate all the retirees of the city of Linden. A special acknowledgement goes out to John Venditto. He was always a man who was responsive, and it was a pleasure working with him. And my understanding is Dave Martinez is the guy that we should contact with all DPW issues in the interim. And Dave, you and I get real acquainted over a short period of time. Again, just to reiterate, in case people didn't hear, there is a need for new crossing guards as the school year is upon us. So those who are interested, make sure you sign up, get your applications, and let's make that happen. Want to acknowledge a Linden resident, William Daniels, of becoming a Union County prosecutor. Congratulations. We have excellence in the city of Linden. It's always a pleasure to acknowledge that. Oh, as we talk about 9/11, there is a motorcycle ride coming out of Pennsylvania going to the Pentagon, and they'll be stopping at Aviation Plaza this Saturday from 2 to about 4:30. So those who like to come out and give those guys some love and support for their efforts in acknowledging all that happened on 9/11, please feel free to come out. It's Aviation Plaza. It'll be about 400 motorcycles. Me being a motorcyclist, I'll be out there and enjoying the atmosphere and partaking in the festivities. One housekeeping note, out of the 18 cars burglarized in the city of Linden, again, 15 were unlocked. So let's just make sure we lock our cars, and that's something that we can prevent that as citizens. As the chairman of Parks and Recreation, just want to make a couple of announcements. There's roof repair going on at JTG building. There's going to be some activity disruption for all that activity that's taking place on the first floor. They're going to try to move as much as possible to the lower level because you can't have that type of activity going on when they're repairing the roof. So be mindful of that. The grab and grow will still continue. It'll just be taking place downstairs in the basements. So another thing is the backpack program will happen on August 30th at the Promenade from 3 to 7 p.m. Again, that's the back to school backpack program will continue August 30th from 3 to 7. We have a new officer down at Board of Health, so hopefully we'll be hearing more about the vaccines as we have an uptick in this whole pandemic and what have you. Happy to say for our bus schedule, there are daily stops at the JTG, and so that's a good thing. Summer concert series is still continuing, and we're also happy to announce that in our summer camp program, we didn't, not to our knowledge, we don't have any awareness of an uptick of COVID cases. So we're very proud and happy to present that information. One good thing I would just like to say that here in the 8th Ward that happens annually, there's an event taking place on September 4th. Mayor Armstead and City of Linden, in conjunction with Kyle Smith, presents reunion. I like to consider it the community reunion, where they have music, musical guests. There's a go game truck. There's games for the youth. There's face painting, free lunches for seniors from 12 to 2. And that'll be held at the Dorothy Ford Park, formerly known as St. Mark's Park. So make sure you come out and partake in that. That'll be September 4th. The hours will be from 1 to 9. Beautiful event. I'd like to see everyone come out and enjoy that. And Council President, that pretty much concludes my report. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Councilman Blaine. Councilwoman Hickey?
Thank you, Council President. First, I'd just like to wish everybody a good evening. I'm very excited to say Birchwood, Willick, Old Grove, Stockton Circle, Stockton Road, and Wickersham have been paved. Hopefully, we're all looking forward to a few more roads being paved. We've received new benches at Mcmanus Field by the baseball field. As I've stated before, those benches have been there since I was a young girl. So this is just the beginning of new things to come behind Mcmanus with improvements. I've had some complaints regarding residents and their music. I just ask once again, as I do every month, please be kind, be respectful and considerate of your neighbors. We don't need to start blasting music at 9 o'clock in the morning. A party once in a while, it's all okay. But when it's habitual, I do receive a lot of phone calls, and it's frustrating for others. I had a phone call, I had an email from Sergeant Monica Oliveira wanting to know Street of the Week for the 10th Ward. I guess it's our turn. I did have a request from one resident for Birchwood, so I'm hoping that's going to be our next road. If not, I'm interested in North Style Street between St. George and Valley Road. We do have a new director of Board of Health, and I just like to welcome her publicly. I haven't met or spoken to her yet, except on our Zoom meeting, but she will be able to be contacted. We've had a lot of issues in the 10th Ward regarding overgrown grass, unkept homes. So I'm hoping to speak with Amy Paluzzo soon. Maybe we can even have an employee go drive around the ward to make sure and get some of these properties under control. I'd appreciate that. I can go over some of the addresses with you. You probably have them on file or can ask, but they're habitual ones and many are new ones as well. A great big thank you to Alexis. I don't think many people don't realize the hard work that has to go into preparing a budget. And not only that, but she had an audit as well for 2020 and 2019. Alexis, I know you and your staff do an amazing job, and you're always there for us 24/7. And I really, truly want to thank you and hope you can get some well-needed rest soon. maybe for a couple months till you cut all the money off from everyone. We still need volunteers for OEM. OEM helps us out so much, the police, the fire department, many of our city events, and we're always looking for volunteers. So if you are interested, thorough background checks are done from the police department. You can contact the chief's office at 908-474-8510 for an application. We'd love to have you. It's a very rewarding job, and I always praise them too much and get on everybody's nerves. Our retirees, John, Kathy, Dave, Mary Ellen, the years of service and dedication that you have put into our city is beyond belief. But I wish you all the best of a very, very happy retirement. You're all young to still enjoy and have a good retirement, but truly thank you for being so dedicated to our city for so many years. And Billy Daniels becoming our new county prosecutor. Everybody knows Billy, and we all are just so proud of him, and we're lucky to have him in the county. Lastly, well, the number for Board of Health I'd like to give out. Sorry, Amy. A Board of Health number is 908-474-8408. If you do have any issues, I have a lot of confidence in Amy Palooza that she's going to do an amazing job after hearing a few words from her yesterday. And I do have a lot of confidence with her, and I know she'll be happy to help any of the residents in the 10th Ward. And lastly, I just saw a picture on Facebook, and it was a plane that was packed shoulder to shoulder with all of our soldiers leaving. I just like to take a moment, all of us, to just think about our soldiers and their families, and let's pray that everybody gets home safe. Thank you, Council President. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Okay. I'd like to take this opportunity to congratulate and wish well our retirees. In our construction code department, we have Kathy Munger. In the fire department, we have firefighter David Kalesa. And we also are going to be losing two vital department heads to retirement starting September 1st. In the welfare department, Mary Ellen Tango. Mary Ellen, I just want to thank you for all your help throughout the years. You were available 24/7 basically to all the council members. Whoever got a call for help, and the residents, you go above and beyond. I'm sure John has had the opportunity to work with you. I'm sure you're leaving the department in good hands, but you know, I had the opportunity to attend virtually 2 state meetings with you. The accolades coming from your colleagues about your service in the Division of Social Services is outstanding. So you leave behind a legacy. I want to wish you well and thank you again for your service. In the Department of Public Works, John Venditto, this will be the first time in many, many years that we don't have a Venditto in the Public Works Department. John worked his way up from a laborer when he started in Public Works all the way to Assistant Superintendent. I'd like to congratulate him and wish him well in his retirement. He's going to be sorely missed. John, you're leaving the department in a good shape. I'm sure Dave is ready to take the realm. We're leaving it in good hands again. But again, I just want to thank you for always being so responsive throughout the years. You're going to be surely missed. Best of luck to all of you. Alexis, great job on the budget and on the audit once again. Thank you for all your hard work. We have several events coming up. I want to start with the 20th anniversary of September 11th. It is going to be on a Saturday, and since it's going to be on a Saturday, I met this week with Chief Hart and Chief Haskell, and we're going to do one event in the city of Linden on September 11th at 10 a.m. in Wanda Green Park. So we invite all residents to please come out for to remember those who made the ultimate sacrifice on that day, not unknowingly doing so, basically. So that's September 11th at 10 a.m. at Wanda Green Park. We also have the Backpack to School event. The The Mayor's Youth Commission has been working diligently to get this off the ground this year. They have many backpacks, so please, you need to show ID when you come. They want to keep the lines moving with COVID, so you're going to ask you to please socially distance, and if there's need for masks, if they recommend that for outdoors, we're going to follow what the guidelines are from the state. But again, that's August 30th from 3 to 7 p.m. at the Promenade. Okay, this year we're also going to have several festivals. We'll start off with the Polish Festival, which I am chairing. It's going to be on September 18th on Wood Avenue. As I mentioned last month, we're going to have the New York Grand Marshal, Heidi Kapala, will come to meet and greet with everyone, as well as our own Marshal, Chief Hart, for the city of Linden. So we ask everyone to please come out for that event. It's going to be from 1 to 8 on Wood Avenue and the Promenade. We'll also have the Latin event, which will be on October 7th. And October 9th, we're having an October Festival. We'll have more information on that to follow. And we'll have an African-American Festival on October 10th, as well as our city Halloween parade is being planned. Hopefully all goes well and we will be able to have these events. But as I mentioned, we have to follow guidelines from the state. So everybody just say your prayers that, these numbers start going down in the right direction. Okay, Mayor Armstead, you're up for your report tonight.
Yes, thank you, Council President. First, let me start by congratulating or wishing well our retirees. Kathy Munger, who has worked in construction code for several years. In the fire department, David Kalesa, who became our deputy chief. And John Venditto, who I've known since we played Pop Warner football together. He worked in a public works department. And certainly last but not least, Mary Ellen Tango, who's our director of welfare. I would just like to, as we talk about our director of welfare, I just want to mention that we here in Linden have found it to be extremely important to have the division of welfare right in our own town. It sets us aside from some of the other towns. We're able to address the concerns of our citizens, and what it does, it kind of like prevents them from getting lost in the sauce when they go up to the county, because there's a lot of people they have to service. And to that end, even if they have to go to the county, we can kind of steer them in the right direction with regards to advice and how they should proceed prior to getting to the county. So again, wish you all well. I'm confident that you will all enjoy your retirement. You've all worked very hard for our city, and we're thankful for your time and commitment that you've given to our city. Next thing I want to report on is good news. I'm happy to announce that Freddy's Frozen Custard and Steak Burgers is now open for business in Linden. Just last week, I attended a ribbon cutting ceremony, and this is the first franchise in the state of New Jersey. The burgers, French fries, and frozen custard were all tremendous. If you haven't tried Freddy's frozen custard and yogurt yet, I highly recommend you try them out. Moving right along, my office has received several phone calls about a 1001 East Edgar Road, which is a property next to BJ's. My administration has had several meetings with the owner of this property, and they currently have ambitions to build a warehouse and self-storage facility on the property. As of now, they're simply remediating the property to prepare for another successful development in our great city. We look forward to them coming to our planning board in the very near future. And speaking of successful developments, our new development on East St. George Avenue, City Village, is just about finished with its phase 2, which includes an additional 74 residential units with 18,000 square feet of retail space. Out of a total of 113 residential units, 89 units are already leased out. And this is just in under a year. So I'm very proud. This is a testament to our robust economy and our strong real estate market here in Linden, and proving once again that if you build it, they will come. I just want to remind council that at one time, the idea of a, I guess you could say for lack of better words, a police station was proposed there, a justice complex, and it would have brought no revenues to the city. And I don't think it would have done anything to spur economic growth in that particular area. So I'm also very happy to announce at this particular location that Johnny Tequila's in Roselle has signed a lease with the developer. They plan to open up with the new restaurant in the upcoming months, which I believe will be great for this particular development and our local economy. I would also be remiss if I didn't share that our neighbors across the street in Roselle are in the process of drawing up a redevelopment plan for that area. We've spoken with them as recently as 2 days ago, and we're very happy with the ideas that they're trying to put forth, and we think it'll be a very excellent opportunity to revitalize the other side of the area, the other side of St. George Avenue. It seems that we share an equal vision for what that community wants, and again, if it's revitalized, it will benefit the area for decades to come. So speaking of the community, on Tuesday, August 3rd, the Linden Police Department hosted a community night out. Now, being able to foster a positive relationship between the community and law enforcement is something critical to every city. And I've often spoken about our city's uniqueness, and we are unique. I feel like our citizens and our police department get along so well. Our police department, our fire department, and other emergency operations in our city, they get along so well and they work so well together. Today, we hosted a COVID-19 vaccination clinic and testing site with Super Health Pharmacy at the Linden PAL. Anyone who wishes to get vaccinated, they can easily go to Super Health Pharmacy on Style Street, and they will vaccinate you. In the upcoming months, upcoming weeks, we're going to be looking to have a vaccination program that will address people in the evening. We're noticing that the daytime vaccination efforts are, the attendance is kind of waning. So we're going to try to have one in the evening, giving people a chance to come home from work and perhaps giving us an opportunity to actually attract young people to be vaccinated. Moving right along, I think we mentioned earlier that we're having a back-to-back school event, August 30th from 3 o'clock to 7 p.m. This is an event that we usually have every year. If you would like to sign up, you can visit our website, the Linden website, or if you have problems with the website, you can call my office and we'll make sure that someone on our staff helps direct you to getting signed up. We are once again, we're continuing our food distribution as well. If you are in need of food, you can contact my office at 908-474-8493. And then you can contact my office for almost anything that you need. We have someone here who will be more than willing to address any needs that you have. My condolences are being sent out today to the country of Haiti, who once again has a terrible setback. They had a terrible earthquake followed by a storm. And this is the second time they've had something traumatic like this happen within 10 years. I think in 2010, there was an earthquake. I just want to remind people that the last time they had a calamity, that there were many people who just popped up out of nowhere asking for money, and we have to be very mindful who we make donations to. I would ask that anybody in the city of Linden who's interested in making a donation, call my office. We're working on a mechanism that's going to guarantee that any donations will be received in Haiti like they're supposed to, versus I think some of the organizations who have collected money in the past and money had just never made it to its destination, and that is Haiti, where it is desperately needed. Thinking, what else do I have here? Oh, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention I didn't welcome our new Director of Health, Amy Peluso. We are delighted to have her on board. We will be looking to work with her as we move our city forward. We have a number of issues that we are trying to address in our with our Board of Health, and she's a welcome addition. You know, there were several people who applied for the position, and she stood out above them all, and we're just delighted to have her on board. And I think she's going to be a great leader down there in the Board of Health. And again, we're just looking forward to working with her and continuing to address the health needs of our town. I think that would conclude my report, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, thank you, Mayor Armstead.
I left the most important thing out. I'm so sorry. The most important thing here is that I am delighted once again to be working with the personnel, with the Finance Committee that is once again giving me a budget that has no municipal tax increase. Now, this is the 4th year in a row that we've done this. And I know people are going to start asking why, how you're able to do it. And we're just going to be quite honest. We're trimming the fat. We've got over $1.1 billion in investments that are coming into this town. And I just think that I see this trend as continuing for the next few years. And once money starts coming in from these developments, I think the city of Linden is going to be in tremendous financial shape. So again, I'd like to thank the people on the Finance Committee for doing an outstanding job. And that would be not to discredit our CFO, Alexis Zach. I want to give her credit where credit is due. She is very knowledgeable when it comes to our finances, and these zero increases would not be possible without her expertise. And I want to thank her as well for doing an outstanding job. So that concludes my reports, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, thank you, Mayor. Just a correction on the backpack event on August 30th. I checked with Sandy Jackson of the Mayor's Youth Commission. They're going to have a sign-in where you're going to have to prove Linden residency, so you do not sign up in advance on the city website. Okay, so the day of the event, you will have a sign-in sheet. Okay. All right, we're going to move on to resolutions this evening. We have resolutions 2021-280 to 2021-308. Okay, can we have a motion, please?
Council President, I request a motion for resolutions 2021-280 to 2021-308 and ask to be passed and ask for a second.
Second.
Mr. Javik,
Yes.
Mohammed,
Yes.
Cosby,
I am abstaining on 289 and voting no to 298 and yes to the rest.
Roman,
Wait a second, he got kicked out.
Oh, he's in, hold on.
Thank you, Council President. Yes.
Okay.
Strano,
I'm voting yes to all except for resolution 2021-283, abstain.
Lane, Hickey,
Yes.
Yemakaitis,
Yes.
motion is approved.
Okay, we're moving on to ordinances on first reading. Let's begin with ordinance 6539 for introduction.
An ordinance adopting the amended redevelopment plan entitled Block 339, Lot 5, former D's Dugout property, dated June 9, 2021, pursuant to the local redevelopment and housing law, NJSA 40A:12A-1 at sequence.
Okay, can we have a motion for introduction, please?
I make a motion for ordinance 6539 on introduction and ask for a second.
Second.
Javik,
Yes.
Mohammed,
Yes.
Cosby,
No.
Roman,
Yes.
Good answer.
Blaine,
Yes.
Hickey,
Yes.
Mrs. Yamakitis.
Yes. Ordinance,
Council President, I didn't hear my name called in a roll call.
I'm sorry, I called you twice, Councilman Strano.
It did
What's your,
not come through. I did not hear it. All I heard was, yes.
thank you.
thank you, Councilman. Okay, ordinance 6540, please.
Bond ordinance authorizing various capital improvements for the city of Linden, appropriating $723,800 therefore, and authorizing the issuance of $687,610 in bonds or notes for financing part of the cost thereof.
Okay, can we have a motion for introduction of ordinance 6540, please?
Council President, I move for introduction. I move for introduction of ordinance number 6540 and request a second.
Second.
Javik,
Yes.
Mohammed,
Yes.
Cosby,
Yes.
Roman,
Yes.
Strano,
I heard you that time. Yes.
Blaine,
Yes.
Hickey,
Yes.
Mrs. Yamakitis.
Yes. Okay, ordinance 6541.
An ordinance to amend and supplement Chapter 7 Traffic of an ordinance entitled, an ordinance adopting and enacting the revised general ordinances of the city of Linden, 1999. Passed November 23rd, 1999, and approved November 24th, 1999, and as amended and supplemented. Section 1, Chapter 7 Traffic shall be, and the same is hereby amended as follows. 7-33 Handicap Parking Regulations, 7-33.1A handicap parking on street. Add 403 Washington Avenue, 1 space, and 28 West 12th Street, 1 space.
Okay, can we have a motion for introduction of ordinance 6541, please?
Council President, I'll make a motion to introduce that ordinance.
We have a second, please?
Second.
Javik,
Yes.
Mohammed,
Yes.
Cosby,
Yes.
Bowman,
Yes.
Strano,
Yes.
Blaine,
Yes.
Hickey,
Yes.
Mrs. Yamakitis.
Yes. Ordinance 6542.
Bond ordinance providing an appropriation of $97,900 for the acquisition of dispatch system upgrades for the police department and authorizing the issuance of $93,005 in bonds of notes for financing part of the appropriation.
Okay, can we have a motion for introduction of ordinance 6542, please?
Yes, Council President, I move for introduction of ordinance number 6542 and request a second.
Second.
Javik,
Yes.
Mohammed,
Yes.
Cosby,
Yes.
Roman,
Yes.
Strano,
Yes.
Blaine, Hickey,
Yes.
Mrs. Yamakitis.
Yes. Okay, we're going to move on to the public comment portion of the meeting. For comments from members of the public in attendance on city business only, not to exceed 3 minutes. Members of the public who may be attending will on mute until this portion of the meeting. If you wish to be recognized, please use your raised hand icon in the program to identify yourself. You will then give your name and address as in any council meeting. Failure to do so will result in your being muted and not recognized further. If you're registered more than once, you can only be recognized to speak one time under your first registration, as with any council meeting. When the public comment is open, the ability to register will be closed. So anyone wishing from the public to speak at this time, please use your raised hand icon in the program. Okay. Hans Herberg, please state your name and address for the record.
Yes, Council President Hans Herberg. Address is 1501 Westover Road.
Okay, go ahead, sir.
Good. I want to thank the City Council. I know the post I was came a few months back about Element Duet. I'm glad the four-way street was installed, actually, because there was a lot of traffic accidents, but really hope, a four-way stop would prevent accidents that happening. Also for National Night Out, that was a great success. I want to thank the chief and the mayor, and also seen a bunch of city council leaders there as well. I mean, this was a great turnout, and hope we can do more events as well coming up, though. I see there's a bunch of September to Remember and other events coming up. So it's just saying, like, what can we do to help support small businesses, though? I mean, I know a year and a half was rough with COVID, though. So perhaps we can do something to help promote and support small businesses. So what if we do a weekend of support small businesses, restaurants? So maybe we can close up for some portion of would have and see if we can have restaurants, set up event outdoor and show appreciation and support, or maybe we could do it at a park, though. I mean, if we're willing to host that, I'd be more help likely. I like to participate, help volunteer as I could, though. So I do want to thank you guys as well, and I do look forward to other events, though. And also to Freddy's, I gotta tell you guys, if anybody hasn't tried Freddy's burgers, it's really good, though. I mean, I've seen a lot of Southern food, but I gotta tell you, anybody won't be disappointed to have a steak burger. So please try it out. You guys weren't disappointed. If not, then you guys can always let me know. Anyway, that concludes myself, though. So I do want to thank you guys, and hope everyone can keep up the good work, and please let's stay healthy, and also let's do pray for the safety of our veterans overseas, for the safety return home. So I do hope we could pray for them, and also too, please thank veterans. A lot of veterans have fought hard to keep our nation safe, nationwide and overseas. So let's please thank our veterans and show appreciation. And that's all. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Hans, for your suggestions. Have a good evening.
You too. Thank you.
Hey, Mary Ellen Tango? Can you switch over her, Charlie? Okay. Okay. Mary Ellen, you just need to unmute yourself.
Okay, I think I got it. Can you hear me?
We can hear you. We can hear you, Mary Ellen.
I am not technologically good at any of this, but I just wanted to say thank you all for your kind words. It's been an honor to be a part of the city for the past 40 plus years. And I just want to say thank you to the mayor and council for all of your support through all these years, for having the social services office. You have all believed that it's best to provide the services with the local office, as we know the community that we work in, and I applaud you for your commitment to that. And Mayor, you've been consistent in your support from your days as a councilman through your role as mayor, and I personally thank you for that. And again, it's been an honor for me to be a part of all of this. And I wish you all well in your continued successes in the future for the city. Have a good night.
All right. Thank you, Mary Ellen. And we wish you all well. Thank you again for all the service you gave to our city and our residents.
You're welcome.
Okay. John Venditto?
Yes. Thank you, Council President. I was mirroring what Mary Ellen said for a few minutes there. Thank you for supporting the 40 plus years that I've been with the town, working for the city, the town I grew up in, the town I played sports with and went to school with and I wanted to thank you for the continued support of the DPW. We're not quite the same as all the other uniformed services, but we get a lot of respect and cooperation from the mayor and council. It's been a great career. I try and tell my people that what they're doing is a career, okay, no matter what what our task is. And we should look at it upon that way, because this has been it's been a long road. They can have a good road too. And I'm very appreciative. I'm blessed to have this opportunity. And I wish Mary Ellen and all the other retirees good health and a long life and prosperity. And just want to thank the city of Linden and all the council for everything they've done for me personally and for my division. So thank you and have a good night.
Thanks, John. Again, we wish you well on your retirement. I know you're going to be around in Linden for the concerts. Your band will be playing, so you won't be a stranger to Linden. So thank you.
That would be Friday, September 10th.
Okay, sounds good.
Thank you. Good night, all.
Good night. Okay, can we have a motion to close the public comment portion of the meeting?
Council President, I make a motion to close.
Second.
Javik,
Yes.
Mohammed. Councilman Mohammed,
Yes.
Cosby,
Yes.
Roman,
Yes.
Strano,
Yes.
Blaine,
Yes.
Hickey,
Yes.
Mrs. Yemakaitis.
Yes. Okay, do any members of the governing body wish to make a comment at this time before we adjourn the meeting? Okay,
Council President, I'm sorry, I have just one request real quick.
yes, Councilman Roman.
I don't know if Mary Ellen Tango is still on the line. If she is, I was wondering. Hello?
Yes, go ahead.
Speak to her before the end of the night. I know it's late at 9 o'clock, but it's kind of an urgent matter.
Okay, I'm sure she will answer her phone, Councilman.
Thank you, Council President.
Okay, Councilman Javik?
Yes, Council President, I'd just like to congratulate all our retirees, Captain Vitrano, Deputy Chief Galessa, John Benedetto, Captain Munger, Mary Ellen Tango. And I'd also like to express a warm welcome to Amy Peluso, our new health official, and congratulations to Linden resident William Daniels as our new county prosecutor. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Councilman Javik. Okay, Councilman Strano?
Yes, Council President, I'd be remiss too if I didn't mention a few people that I've spent a lot of years with in the city. First off, Kathy Munger, I think back in '95 when I first got on council, she was here. And it's kind of funny, every time I see her face, I see her dad. Great guy, always helpful. Can't say enough about him, and really appreciate the service that she brought to the city. And she'll be missed. I want to congratulate Jeff and Dave, police and fire department as well. And what can you say about Mary Ellen Tango? What a class act. Thank you so much for your service, and have a good night.
Thank you, Councilman Strano. Mayor Armstead?
Yes, I would like to make a comment with regards to a statement that Councilman Strano made earlier about the four-way stops. Councilman Strano speaks to a frustration that I think that other councilmen may have as well, because we don't typically ask for four-way stop signs without good reason. Particularly in Ralph's ward, I know the street he's talking about, there are some problems there, and I think that he should be given more consideration. And I'll speak to the fourth ward for Councilman Mohammed. We have several speeders that like to just fly down the main drags in the fourth ward, and sometimes the only way you can stop them is to put four-way stop signs to break their flow. So I think that we should really take a closer look when councilmen make a request of this nature, and understand that they aren't doing it because they like just to hear themselves talk. They're doing it because they really have an actual need, and they feel there's a need that these stop signs would be beneficial in helping to deter future accidents in the ward. And I think that councilmen know their wards better than a lot of people. So I think they should be given every consideration when they put these requests forward. Thank you. That's my conclusion statement.
Thank you, Mayor. Okay, I too would like to just once again welcome Amy Peluso to the city of Linden, our new health officer. She's hit the ground running. She's got a tough road ahead of her with this pandemic going on. So we welcome you and look forward to working with you. Okay. The next council meeting will be as follows. Council conference meeting Monday, September 20th at 6 PM in the council conference room, City Hall, 301 Northwood Avenue. The meeting to be held virtually. Council conference meeting prior to the council meeting, Tuesday, September 21st at 6 PM in the council conference room, meeting to be held virtually. Council meeting Tuesday, September 21st at 7 PM in the council chambers, meeting to be held virtually. Please check the city website, lindennj.gov, for directions on how to participate electronically in these meetings and for copies of the agenda. Can we have a motion to adjourn the meeting, please?
Motion to adjourn.
Hey, can we have a second?
Second.
Javik,
Yes.
Mohammed. Councilman Mohammed,
Yes.
Cosby,
Yes.
Bowman,
Yes.
Toronto,
Yes.
Blaine. Councilman Blaine,
Yes.
Hickey,
Yes.
Mrs. Yemakaitis.
Yes. Have a good evening,
Thank
everyone.
you.
You